Boris Johnson has been scolded by a leading Remainer group who have warned increased red tape and costs from Brexit are making it almost impossible to fix the HGV driver shortage engulfing the UK. A huge shortage of HGV drivers has led to struggles over fuel being delivered to UK petrol stations, leading to huge queues at forecourts and leading millions of drivers into a panic buying frenzy, while also blaming Brexit. During the height of the COVID pandemic, large numbers of haulage drivers left the industry because of issues caused by travel restrictions and stay-at-home orders. The imposed lockdowns have also forced training centres to close, which has added to a shortage of HGV drivers throughout Europe. Remainers have continued to insist the current crisis has been caused by Brexit, with added red tape and costs resulting from the UK's departure from the European Union driving HGV drivers out of the industry. Naomi Smith, chief executive of internationalist campaign group Best for Britain, said although Brexit is not the sole cause of the current supply crisis, the government had been warned of the consequences. She claimed Project Fear has become Project Here, warning the government's decision to issue short-term visas to drivers around Europe has come too late to fix the problem. Ms. Smith told Express.co.uk, while Brexit is not the only cause of the current driver supply crisis, it is the only factor resulting from an unnecessary government decision taken after they were warned of the consequences. Now that Project Fear has become Project Here, the job of addressing the crisis is made much more difficult by the added red tape and costs from Brexit, which is discouraging overseas drivers even after the government's screeching U-turn on short-term visas. Last week, Transport Secretary Grant Shapps hit back at Brexit doom-mongering after claiming the UK's departure from the EU has in fact helped the country push faster to sort the HGV driver shortage crisis. He said Brexit has allowed ministers the flexibility to set our own rules, adding the divorce from the EU has enabled ministers to issue visas where needed to tackle the driver shortages. Mr. Shapps told the BBC's Andrew Marr show, "On the other side of Brexit, it's actually given me a lot of freedom to get on with expanding the number of driving tests available, which is the real constriction here. Those are changes that I couldn't have made if we were still in Europe, because of the way that the licenses operated were all set by European directives, so we've benefited from some of those extra freedoms." Late last month, the UK government announced it was granting temporary visas in an effort to tackle supply chain woes. Up to 5,000 HGV drivers will be able to come to Britain under temporary visas, while a further 5,500 visas will be issued to poultry workers to avoid any potential further pressures on the food industry. In addition, up to 4,000 people will be trained as new truck drivers, while letters will be sent out to 1 million drivers with HGV licenses to persuade them back into the industry. Ministry of Defence examiners will also be called in to accelerate the testing process. Downing Street said in a statement, 5,000 HGV drivers will be able to come to the UK for 3 months in the run-up to Christmas, providing short-term relief for the haulage industry. A further 5,500 visas for poultry workers will also be made available for the same short period, to avoid any potential further pressures on the food industry during this exceptional period.